Hi guys, today I'm going to be making an NHL tier list. So let's get started. So the Ducks, they have some young talent. I feel like they might be able to make the playoffs or just barely miss out. So I'm going to put them at B. Coyotes, no explanation. Their only good player is Clinton Keller. Boston Bruins, they're my favorite team, and they still have some good defense and offense. So I'm gonna put them at A, maybe like a 2 seed or a 3 seed. Sabres is hard. They have young talent, but they're already starting to show that they're playoff material. So I'm gonna put them at B. The Flames, they haven't really done much recently, so I'm gonna put them at C. Hurricanes, obviously A tier. They have a lot of good young talent that are starting to go into their prime, and they are a playoff contender. Chicago, I'm going to put at D because Connor Bedard will be in his rookie year, so he will have to have time to develop in the NHL level. Colorado, S tier. They have a super team. They're going to be a 1 seed in their division. Blue Jackets, they haven't really done well. They were one of the worst teams in the league. But I feel like they can do a bit better because they have Line A and Gaudreau and Werenski. So I'm going to put them at C. Dallas, they're an A tier. They have a really good young talent, and they have some playoff experience in Joe Pavelski to lead the way. The Red Wings, I'm going to put at C. Their young talent's good, but they don't have a lot of good players. Oilers, I'm going to put at an A because they have the trio of McDavid, Draisaitl, and Nuge. So I'm going to put them at A. Florida, they already did some damage this year. I don't like them because they beat out the Bruins, but I'm going to have to put them at A tier because of what they did this year in the playoffs. The Kings, I'm going to put them at a solid B tier. I feel like they'll be a 3 seed or a wild card this year coming up. Wild, I'm going to also put them at B tier. They have some good talent, but their good talent is young and still needs to develop a bit. The Canadians, I'll put them at C because their team is still really young and they're not at their peaks yet. The Predators, I'm going to put them at C tier because they really only have Yossi, Forsberg, and I forget the name. Oh, Saros. And the Devils, I think I might put them at S tier. They have a really good young roster that I think can do some damage in the playoffs. Islanders, I'm going to put them at B because they still have some decent players and some good players in Sorokin and Barzal. So they're a solid B tier. The Rangers, they have a really good team in Patrick Kane, Artemi Panarin, Mika Zibanejad, and one of the best goalies in the league. So I'm going to put them at an A tier. The Sens, I'm going to put them at C tier because they still have some young talents that aren't at their peak yet. Flyers, no explanation, D tier. Penguins, I'm going to put them at C tier because their good players are starting to get really old, and they will start to get worse and worse. They'll start to regress a bit. And Crosby's just not as good as he used to be anymore. Sharks, I'm going to put them at D tier because they don't really have any stars, really. All they really have is Erik Karlsson. Blues. They're a C tier. All they really have is Buchnevich and Pareko. And Bennington for their goalie. Lightning, solid A tier. The reason why I'm not putting them at S tier is because their players are starting to get older. So they might not do as good as they did in like 2019 or 2018. Leafs, they are building a super team, and they are my least favorite team, but I've got to put some respect on them. So, it's a tough one. I think I'm still going to go with S tier. Canucks, I think I'm going to go with B. They have really good young players that are starting to enter their prime, like Pedersen and Hughes. So I think they can do some damage. Vegas, recent Stanley Cup champions, automatic S tier. Caps, they're in the same situation as the Penguins. Their good players are starting to get really old and are starting to do a bit worse than before. Jets, I'm going to go B tier because they are solid, and they were a wild card last year, so I got to put a bit of respect on them. But this is my NHL tier list. I hope you guys like the list. If there's anything that I need to change, put it in the comments, and I will see you guys later. Peace.